Solving the equation 5 cosine of 2x plus pi over 3 equals 4. X ranging from 0 to pi radians this time. First thing to be done, isolate the trig function. So the angle belongs to the cosine. So all we need to do here is divide both sides by 5. So what we get here is the trigonometric function cosine of 2x plus pi over 3 isolated equals 4 over 5 or 0.8. So what we are going to do here again, we are not going to take into account the specific period and phase angle for this equation. We are going to first try and find the base answers, so the answers to y equals cosine of x when y equals 0.8. So we'll sketch the graph of the base function cosine, the usual period 2 pi or 360 degrees. Do the ticks for the quadrants here. We know that this base one has amplitude 1, so 1 and negative 1 here, and we know that cosine starts at 1. So the sketch will look like this. The sketch of the base cosine graph. Then the 0.8 is a positive value of y that gives us the horizontal line as the graph. So our answers for the base function are these orange dots. If we know that this is pi over 2, so something just before pi over 2, and this one here is something just after 3 pi over 2 or just before 2 pi. So what do? We have to basically do the cosine inverse, calculate a time of 0.8 to find those angles. The first angle will be given to us first by just using the calculator. So set the calculator to radians and push cosine inverse of 0.8. So we get 0.64 here. So that's in radians. So this is that first orange projection there. First angle is 0.64. Pi over 2 is the same as 1.57, so that's correct. The 0.64 is just before that. Now 0.64 is this first angle that I'm going to do in green here that takes that way. Thinking about that mirror image on this other side here, that is the same length. So for the second angle, if I start in bright blue from the 1 and go all the way to the next orange dot, which is going to give us our second angle, I can see that this blue part is almost the whole thing, but it goes just up to that point. So we have to remove that measurement there, which is equivalent to 0.64, because we knew that this little piece is 0.64, so the same here. So how do we calculate our second answer? It would be the full 2 pi, except that we are removing the 0.64. So jump on the calculator, 2 pi minus 0.64 gives us 5.64. So our first base answer is 0.64. Our second base answer is 5.64. So that's what we are going to write here now to start finding the specific answers. So first answer 0.64, second answer, base answer 5.64. But each one of these will need to be set equal to the specific angle we are talking about, which in this case is 2x plus pi over 3. Before we find the specific angles, we should check how many answers we are expecting here. If we have that 2 in front of x, that means 2 full cycles in 360 degrees, or 2 pi. So each cycle gives us 2 answers. So 2 cycles will give us 4 answers in 360 degrees, or 2 pi. Because the range here only goes up to pi, means we're not going to have the 4 answers, we're going to have half of that. If we went to 2 pi, we would have 4 answers. So only 2 answers, so that means we don't need to do any laps of 360 degrees on top of these answers, or 2 pi on top of these answers. All we need to do is isolate the x. So first, subtracting pi over 3 from both sides, and I'll do that to both, and then dividing both. Well, let's get the answer to that. 0.64 take away pi over 3, so 2x equals negative 0.41, and on the other side we have 5.64 take away pi over 3, 4.59. I'm just rounding to 2 decimal places. Now divide both sides by 2 to fully isolate x. So I'm doing the 2 equations at the same time. So the first one, where we had negative 0.41, we divide that by 2 and get negative 0.21. The other one, 4.59, when we divide by 2, we get 2.295. So I'll just put 2.3 for now, radians. So these are our answers. One of them, they came from the base answers, but one of them is 2.3 radians, which is within the range, because the range goes up to pi, which is 3.14 whatever. But the other one is not really within the range because it's a negative angle. So what do we need to do? We need to add pi to that one to get our answer. So let's see what we're going to get here. X equals negative 0.21 negative 0.21 plus pi. So this one here will be 2.93 if we wanted 2 decimal places. This one is within the range because 2.9 is still before the pi, which is 3 point something. So final answers in radians calculated here.